Once again, a very good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining in this Friday's webinar. It's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's about 8 things to learn about uLaw today. These are some new things also adding to it. We do have some new features. I'll be discussing about that with all of you today. I'll be probably chatting about it on the presentation as well as showing it to you on the uLaw platform. I request all of you to join the phone audio in case you're not able to hear me well in here. I'm sure that many of you who are attending today's session, you're aware of many features that's available in uLaw, which is frequently used or accessed by all of you, which could be something from contacts to add in clients, to create groups, and likewise, we all access various tabs or sections in uLaw to do certain things, which we are so used to. But there are a few more things adding to it that would be a game changer, that would be helpful for you to, witness more in uLaw, and that way improvise your business activities. So we're going to see a few features in that lines today. And just to reiterate that today's webinar is not accredited for any CPD credits. I think the next CPD is in the first week of July. Next Friday is a holiday, as in is a off for webinar, as it's a long weekend. Friday we generally keep it light. However, there's a CPD webinar on July the 7th, if I'm not wrong. I request all of you to access our webinar website. I'll share the link towards the end of the session. So it's not a CPD today, just to remind all of you, but request each and everyone attending today's session to stay back for a bit to learn a few things about uLaw that you might not know, you might not be using. But like I said, it's a good game changer. If you start using it, it will bring a lot of productivity in your business. All right, so I'm sure many of you know about uLaw's existence, how it was formed, and when it was brought into existence, and what is the major reason that we focus on being a cloud-based software for legal professionals to be compliant with Law Society and also handle their bookkeeping tasks. There's also more to it. We don't just cater to the basics, which is invoicing or billing, docketing, or accounting. We do a little bit more than that, where you could probably use a phone app or mobile app. You could synchronize your calendar with uLaw. You could have daily reminders sent to you. You could have insights about your analytical review of reports sent to you on emails. You can have Apple Watch tell you what you're doing today, how well your business is doing today. Obviously, because you can download an app in there, synchronize it with your uLaw app. And at the same time, there's so much like connecting your bank with uLaw, using a remote client portal, especially after pandemic. People have stopped or people have minimized meeting clients to do an intake. I mean, of course, it's nice to meet up with clients and people. There's nothing like face-to-face conversation, but people still want to, in this busy world, especially post-pandemic, where we're all used to the pandemic life for almost 2.5 years. We introduced this client portal at that time where you can intake a client sitting in your office or even sitting in your home, sitting anywhere in the world, by sending them a link and asking them to fill in a form and complete your client intake. So these are a few things that additionally we have, which could enhance your overall business performance. We're not only Canadian-based, we're not only compliant with Law Society, we're not only cloud-enabled software, we're also cost-effective, which is mostly used for docketing, invoicing, your accounting, and financial management. Now, like I said, many of you could use different types of browsers. Some could use Google browsers, some could use Safari, Mozilla. There's so many different browsers that you could be operating with. And one of these, which is Google browser, you can do a toolbox. You can add a toolbox to it, to your Google Chrome. And this toolbox can be downloaded from of course, from Google Play Store, or when you just go on to Google search, you can just type saying uLaw toolbox. Now, what does this toolbox do? Of course, we have, as you are seeing here on the left-hand side of the screen, you have a picture that represents uLaw toolbox. Now, it gets added as a key to your Chrome tab, and you get to see uLaw app. You can access uLaw app. You don't have to every time bookmark it, or you don't have to, save the credentials something, but you can just simply have the uLaw app created. You can just have the uLaw toolbox created, adding as a tool to your Chrome. And once you have added the app, you can just simply log into your uLaw app. You can ask for help from there. You can have uLaw manual, which helps you with understanding uLaw better. So this particular uLaw toolbox not only carries these features like accessing app and YouTube and manual and help, but it also helps you to convert your Gmail to reading a docket, or it reads your Gmail and converts it to a docket, to put it in simple form. And how does it happen? Obviously, you'll have to have a uLaw toolbox attached to your Chrome extension. And once that is being done, you can synchronize it with your Google. You'll have to go into uLaw settings and synchronize your Gmail to your uLaw first. Then when you start to read an email that you've received from a client and you mark it as read under uLaw Docket Launcher, it will go in and docket it under that specific client's matter as a docket, as a 6-minute docket or 12-minute docket. You can modify it. Now, this is read email and convert to docket feature. I'm not sure how many of you have been using it, but it's been very helpful for people who use Gmail and people who have tons of emails from your client back and forth. You want to record the correspondence. This is a very helpful feature. Moving on to the next one out of our, I think this one has 8 picks that we have. And the second one is getting a daily digest. Now, all of us have entered some information into uLaw platform. So, it would have different ways of reading analytics. You might have a revenue report. There might be some invoices pending, some AR pending balance. There could be some trust transfer spending. There's different types of reports that you can get generated into uLaw. And uLaw's Daily Digest will prepare you an email every day, and it will send you your daily tasks. You could have added it to your calendar as this is what I have to do today. Like everything can be added on to-do list from every single client's matter, or you add it in your calendar. And once you've added those tasks, it would come in as a reminder in your daily digest. If you have set up your daily digest reminder emails. Now, how do you set it up? Under settings, you can configure daily digest. You can set it up for any day of the week. And once you wake up, you'll be seeing this email with a list of activities you have to do today. So the different types of email that you might receive from uLaw, you could have daily digest, you could have uLaw analytics, you could have the uLaw reminders being sent to you. But this daily digest is something that is helpful and that's available from settings, which you can access from settings and use. I have a quick question. Is a task inputted as an event? Yes. If you all watch closely, let me quickly, this is a very nice question, Julia. Thank you so much. I just quickly go back to uLaw to show you this. This is my Playground account. So I'm right now in a matter, and we are all so used to adding new events to add in, let's say there's a client meeting. Now, I don't want to add this as a meeting, as an event yet, but as an upcoming event on 26th of June. So instead of adding it as a duration, if I add it as a duration, it would go in as a docket and I can bill it. However, I would add it as a to-do event and save it. So now if I go into my calendar and see, the to-do event will be sitting in my calendar as I'll have to do it, right? So please make sure that you're able to add in the event as to do. And you'll typically be able to see this under your list of tasks. Does this clarify your question, Julia? Task is inputted as an event. However, instead of duration, you mark it as to do. Great. I hope that's perfect. All right, so just getting back in there. We were in Daily Digest. Just want to show you all, since I'm also in uLaw simultaneously. Under settings, you have permission, and you can enroll yourself to whether you want to have these Daily Digest reports, analytical reports being sent to you or not. Okay, so you will be, I think Daily Digest comes somewhere on the top, analytics comes at the bottom. So you can very well go under permission or dashboard and also control this. Okay. Now besides that, we were also talking about accessing Gmail. So in order to access your Gmail, so you can just go into your settings and make sure that you're providing under Matter. Yeah, under Matter. If you go in here, you can actually provide yourself to synchronize with Gmail. I think it comes towards the bottom. Yeah. So email integration service, G Suite, and you can give a secret key and save it. And that allows you to integrate with products like Google. And this will allow you to in turn read your email and convert it to a docket. Now, just to show you all, I have a Google Chrome extension here, which is having uLaw Toolbox. If I click on it, it brings in the uLaw Docket Launcher. Now, if I've opened an email, just for security reasons, I'm not opening my email. But if you open your email after you synchronize it, and after you add the Google Chrome extension with uLaw Toolbox, you could typically read this email. Or if you have sent an email, whatever, correspondence, add it as a docket. Okay, go into the Matter. You can search for this client's email ID and record it as a docket. All right. That's so far about creating Chrome extension and creating email integration. Going into 8 things to learn about uLaw a little bit more in detail. Once you're done with Daily Digest, let's say you've set up Daily Digest, you've set up your Chrome extension, you've set up your email docket launcher. The next thing here is, of course, your uLaw calendar. And under uLaw Calendar, you do have Google Calendar, which can synchronize with Google Calendar in one click. In this calendar, right beside the calendar, you'll see just click on sync button whenever you want, absolutely. And in the background, you will see uLaw sync with Google Calendar. All that you'll have to do is once the calendar gets synced, you'll be able to see all of the information in both your calendars over here. If you go into uLaw, just quickly switching tabs to show you how it works. Under calendar, there's a tiny little button that shows a drop-down menu option where you can actually sign in with Google and synchronize your calendar. Mine is already synced, so it showed as syncing for a moment. And once it's synced, now if I go into my calendar, you will actually see uLawPractice as an option. So you could click on it, and when you go into your calendar, you will typically see all the events that is there in your calendar over here. All right. So let's say, for example, I'll just go into my calendar. So I have assigned uLawPractice here. So you see all those legal fee events that came in are showing in here. So all the events that is over here get synchronized in my own Google Calendar. So if you go into previous date, you see document drafting, client meeting, court visit, all of it showing over here, right? So that's typically calendar for all of you. Google Calendar, syncing Google Calendar is simple two-step process. Sign in with your Google, allow your Google to sync with uLaw, then sync, click on sync calendar, then it synchronizes. Then you go to your Google Calendar and you have to click on the box, checkbox that says uLawPractice. And once you click on it, you'll start seeing uLawPractice calendar in there. All right. So that's about uLaw Calendar. So far, we've seen 3 features. If I'm not wrong, we've seen the Google Chrome tab, we've seen the uLaw Digest, and we've seen Google Calendar. Okay. Moving on to one of our new features, which is Apple Watch. Right now, Apple Watch, you can download the uLaw Watch app, and you'll be able to see all of your analytics, business insights at any time using this watch, which will give you an idea. You don't have to literally be in front of your system. You don't have to even be anywhere close to it, but just tap on your watch and you can see all your uLaw analytics. So it'll allow you to also scroll through all of it. And there's a tiny little blog on it. I can share this link for all of you to watch it later. Now, if there's something that you're probably using a uLaw watch, an Apple Watch, you can download a uLaw Watch app in there and try this, and it helps a lot because it's not technically possible for all of us to always carry our system around, but we might have some information that you might need. So it's definitely helpful that way. Okay. Over here, you have Stephanie's pick, which we have probably seen as uLaw Portal, where we see client intake via uLaw Portal, which is something that was created during pandemic, as I already mentioned. All these days, we're so used to adding new clients manually or using the client intake form. Now uLaw has customizable client portal, which will allow potential client to input their details via the portal. Okay, so all that you have to do is get your client's email ID, enter it into the client portal, acknowledge it with the secret key, and you will be able to send your client a link to enter their personal details and submit it. So just to swap the tab switch the tab and show all of you. This is the Contacts tab, and it has a tiny button that's called as Client Portal. Now, over here, you can add in your client's information. Let's say your client's email is being added in here, and you have the secret key that's added in here. And then you can generate the email to yourself or to the client, or only to, or to both of you. In this case, now, you do have the secret key that needs to be entered first at the settings level. It's at the global settings level. Go ahead and enter the contacts in there. You enter saying under the settings, under the contacts, you have client portal integration. You have uLaw portal entered in here. You have client portal secret key, and you enter in the information over here. It's a 15-digit secret key. So it will be set to none. You set it to uLaw portal if you're willing to use it, and you enter a secret key with it, along with it. Once you enter the secret key, of course, you're going to click on Save. Then you move on to Contacts. And when you go to Contacts, it will automatically show you where you can enter the client's email. Then you enter the client portal secret key, and you will be able to generate the portal link. Again, for security reasons, I'm avoiding showing it to you as a live demonstration on my, my email, but feel free to email me or feel free to email support if you'd like to see a live demonstration, or we also have a video where I'll share the link towards the end of this webinar. I have a quick question here. I tried to docket email via Gmail, but contacts listed as other parties are not linking to the matter. Does it have? Yes, one of the important things here, Julia, that you'll have to remember is it has to be, it's not about whether it's linked to the matter, but please make sure that the contact that you're trying to, there are two questions I have to answer in here. So just to repeat the question of Ms. Julia here, she tried to add docket email via Gmail, but contacts listed as other parties are not linked to matter. Does it have to be because the client is not linked to this matter? That's the question. And the answer is yes, it has to be linked to the matter, because only then we can create the matter with the dockets. And second thing is, make sure the client or the contact you're trying to review the email and add as a docket does come with an email ID attached in there. Okay, so the email ID has to be filled in something like this. So it can't be left blank. If the email ID is left blank, it will not pick up the email and it will not be docketed. I hope that answers your question. So yes, it has to be linked to the matter, and please make sure that the contact has the email ID in it. Right? Great. Thank you. Yeah, so that's about Client Portal. If any of you need further information about Client Portal, please do email me or my support team. I'll be sharing the details towards the end of this webinar. Okay. Moving on to the next one is our Bank Connect, something that is being loved by every single user, and it saves plenty of time for many of you who are using it. And the ones using it are definitely, really, what do I say? It's such a boon here because it saves you a lot of time. It's helping you to import bank transactions directly into uLaw. And it's also about streamlining all your accounts, so you could take action to add in all the transactions. So uLaw's Bank Connect feature allows you to import bank transactions directly into uLaw. which helps you to save time on adding transactions, which helps you save time on reconciliation process indirectly or directly. It also helps you to add in your respective transactions into the respective bank accounts instead of you making some errors by mistake, right? Errors are human. You cannot avoid. They're made by mistake sometimes. So let's say, for example, you're purchasing paper from your business credit card, but for some reason you come back into the office and record it as if you've purchased using your business card, which is not credit card, but the debit card. And you come to the stage where you're reconciling it, but your accounts are not reconciling because you've added an additional transaction under your general account while it has to go under your credit card. So to avoid such errors, we came up with this Bank Connect feature where it directly imports the bank transactions into uLaw. How does it happen? Of course, you have to go into Action, Administrator, Connect Bank, and first connect all your banks to uLaw, right? By simply clicking on this symbol in between each line. So you first connect the trust, then you connect the general, then you connect the credit card. Now I'll tell you the purpose behind connecting the trust is not to add any transaction, but to simply fetch the bank statements while you're doing the reconciliation, right? So because trust, we always recommend going into each client and matter and manually adding the transactions. However, for general and credit card, you can add in all the withdrawals by simply connecting your bank. So now that I've connected my bank, I'm going to show you how the Bank Connect works. When I click on Import Bank Statements, you'll see the two banks that I connected. One is the general bank account. The other one is the business credit card. Now, no way going to make an error here by switching the transactions in between the two accounts because I'm specifically clicking on general account and connecting the bank. So I would add my transactions appropriately by clicking on Take Action and Office Expenses and add in the transactions appropriately, right? Now, there's no way I'm going to go and add the transactions under general under credit card or vice versa because I'm clicking on the appropriate bank account as you all see, right? If I want to add transactions under general, I do that. Now, if I want to do it under credit card, I simply click on Import Bank Statement, click on Business Credit Card, and click on Connect Bank. I don't even have to say which bank I've connected with. It automatically pops up. And all your transactions shows down here. You just have to click on the respective take action and add it under the respective bank accounts. You can also get the bank statements from here. That would help you, especially if you have bookkeepers or accountants with whom you don't want to every month share your bank statements, right? This is the best way you could do it. You just simply add in the transactions, right? Cool. So moving on, I'm just going to go in here to show you remaining features. Now, these are all new features. I'm not sure how many of you have been using it. Some of them are in existence for 6 months now, 1 year now. But compared to, of course, an 11, 12-year program or 13-year program, this is definitely one of the newest features that we have. And if you have not been using it, I highly recommend you to start using it. And the next one is Dan's pick on docket. Speak to the docket. Now, speaking to the docket is just simply recording your, your descriptions for every single docket where you would add lot of description while you're commenting on every single event or docket. Of course, it's an AI machine learning algorithm here, which allows you to dictate your dockets, by the way, in English or French, not just English, but also French. And how do you do it? You just simply click to docket, and where you have a description box, you would see a simple record button in there. And you will also see a microphone. You can click on it and you can start speaking into it and convert the speech to text later as the docket. That's one thing you can see here. And if I have to show you that in uLaw, going to Matter, it saves you a lot of time. Trust me again. See, all these additional features are all about saving time. Now, yes, of course, we see about things like reconciliations, compliance documents, trust transfers, disbursements, other things in our regular webinars. Of course, those are your bread and butter. Those are some things that we cannot run our business without, right? Excuse me. However, these are likewise, even though they don't carry that much weightage because they're not anything to do with compliances or accounting or your books, right? They're more of generic features that would enhance your business by using it, putting it to use rather. Because by using Bank Connect, what is the advantage? You're obviously saving more time. You're having an error-free method of recording your transactions. You're utilizing a feature that comes off free while you're not paying anything additional to it. Most important of all is that convenience of recording it anytime during the month. It's not like you got to remember each and every information about that transaction before you go to your desk and record it, right? Or you go back, log into your bank online, or you wait for your statements to be printed or something. Just a simple Bank Connect does so much to enhance your work. And imagine these new features that we're learning about today. If you start putting it to use slowly, of course, you will start feeling the difference in each and every avenue that you're using. Could be Daily Digest, could be, the speech to text, could be the Bank Connect, could be the Google Chrome docketing, the Gmail docketing. There's so much that will slowly start improvising your techniques, and it will in turn help you to improvise your business pattern, which is, being completely on cloud, doing everything out of your, usual manual method of accounting like Bank Connect and other things too. Just coming back in here about the recording or converting the recorded speech to text, we do have a brand new feature. I will explain it right after the record feature. So this particular, let's say the particular client meeting that we tried adding a few minutes ago, I'll take the same one. Let's say under description, I would like to add client meeting scheduled for 26th June at 10 a.m. at client's office. When I started recording, I allowed my microphone to work. Of course, you have to give access. And then once I stopped recording, I'm going to click on speech to text, okay? And you'll see how it converts the speech to text instead of me sitting and typing this one line. It's, of course, one, saving time, and two, convenience. Client meeting scheduled for 26th of June at 10 a.m. at client's office. You see that? Now, let's say I'm going to type in a couple of things. Now, that is speech to text for all of you. Now, there's a brand new feature that I'm so excited to introduce to all of you here. In fact, this is still under production, all of you. It's not live yet, but since mine is a Playground account, I'm going to show you all how it's working. I couldn't contain my excitement since I'm on this page. I thought I'll show it to all of you. And what is more exciting than you all seeing it and approving it? So it is an AI related feature. So we'll have to handle it a little bit with care, but trust me, it does so much wonders. You will have to use it with utmost care. That is something that I would bring with a disclaimer, but it doesn't have to be so scary. It's just an AI tool. Start using it and you'll get used to it. You'll just have to validate it before you put it on papers. That's what I'm trying to say here. Be a little cautious of what you're typing and things. So let me show you here for an example. So I just recorded something, converted that speech to text under the description, just to save a little bit time. Now, let's say I'm adding additional things here after the meeting. I said, discussed case proceedings, upcoming hearing, and fees to be paid, okay? Let's say I'm gonna type in all this as I was in this meeting, I opened my mobile app, I just quickly made some points. Now I wanna convert that points into a paragraph, right? So this is where a new button, as you're all seeing here on the right-hand side, which is called AI Tools with a tiny little drop down. That says, I want to convert this note to a summary, or I want to do a summarization. I want to correct the grammar. I want to find the keywords. Now, let's say I want to make this notes to summary first. So I just click on it, and then I'll go back in here, okay? And then it immediately said on 26th of June, just look at it. It just made absolute sense by converting it to a paragraph, and the description looks much beautiful here as a paragraph than what I just wrote in bits and pieces over there. So just reading it for all of you at the bottom here. On 26th of June, I attended a client meeting at their office at 10 a.m. During the meeting, we discussed the case proceedings or proceedings of the case, the upcoming hearing, and the fees that needed to be paid. Now, I never mentioned it so in detail, but, you know, it just converted, the AI just converted these broken sentences or words into a meaningful paragraph. Now, if you want to do more, let's say you want to do a grammar correction, it'll bring me back the same sentences with a paragraph with the grammar correction. So you see, a client meeting has been scheduled. I never added a client meeting in there. Has been scheduled for the 26th of June at 10 a.m. at the client's office. The agenda for the meeting includes discussing proceedings, upcoming hearing, and fees to be paid. Right? And let's say if I want to find keywords in this, I just want to highlight the keywords to my client. It just brought in there. Client meeting, 26 June, 10 a.m., client's office, discuss case proceedings, upcoming hearing, fees paid to the client. So these are some options that our new feature, the AI tools, is trying to give you all so that you can save time sitting and thinking what to write in the description so that I can generate an invoice, send it to my client, and get the money paid, right? I think end of the day, we're all working towards getting paid. So, but we want to also enhance the techniques that we use in this time. So this is what I would say comes handy, comes as a boon to you. Please put it to use. I mean, of course, the AI tool is not live yet for all of you to start using, but since we were on this tab and since we were in the same line of speech to text, converting speech to text, I thought I'll introduce the AI tool to all of you all and see if we have any feedbacks. Please feel free to email us and we'll be happy to address your concerns. Now, that is about converting speech to text, and we also saw a little bit about AI tool here. Moving on to the next one, which is about biometric login. Now, Kate's pick is on biometric login. Of course, we all had a pick each, and I think mine was Daily Digest. My friends was calendar, and then one had uLaw watch. We said uLaw portal, which is client portal. Each of us had a pick. And while we were talking about, of course, we did talk about speak to docket. And the next one was biometric to login. Yes, if you're using a phone app where mobile app, of course, you have a biometric logging using a Face ID or a fingerprint. Of course, uLaw has enabled, or uLaw is supporting facial recognition. So you can just log in first normally, save your credentials, so that after that, going for, of course, if we are all using a bank mobile app as well, that's what we do, right? For the first time, you enter your bank card number, you enter your online credentials, then you log in. After that, you set up your Face ID or facial recognition with that bank app. That's how it works. Same way uLaw works too. You log in first normally with your user ID, password, save your credentials, then use Face ID or fingerprint next time, right? So again, this is only going to, a couple of things here as a positive that I can see is, one, saves you time each time tapping in your credentials. Number two is security reasons. I don't think anyone can, break your facial recognition or fingerprint. So it's also the security that helps with it. Right, I'm almost to the fag end of the webinar here. So we probably had so much to show all of you. It's kind of a little short webinar as it's not a CPD, but I'd like to take this chance to take more questions from all of you. If you have any questions from any of these features that we've discussed today, which was uLaw Toolbox, Daily Digest, uLaw Google Calendar synchronization, Apple Watch, uLaw app in the Apple Watch, client portal for uLaw, Bank Connect, speak to docket, and lastly, the biometric to login. Now, of course, we do have other things that you might want to learn, but please feel free to email us or put on the chat window, what would you like to learn? So everything that we discussed today is available under the settings, where you can set up your contact with client portal integration, as we already saw here. And you can go to Matter, and you can also integrate your Gmail, G Suite integration over here. And you can also set up your Daily Digest over here. So you can make sure that you get your Daily Digest. I think Daily Digest is somewhere in here, which is right here. Give me one moment. Yeah, that's here. So under calendar, so you can go under contacts to synchronize your client portal, go under Matter to synchronize your Google Calendar, go under calendar to synchronize Daily Digest. So you can actually say you don't want Daily Digest, no problem. Set it up as none. By default, I think it will be in none, okay? But if you want it, you can say, I want it only on Tuesday, Thursdays. Those are my off days. Those are my, non-code days. Or maybe you want Monday to Friday. So then pick Monday to Friday. Save it, and, it'll show you all the days of the week, the calendar, and it sends you the agenda for that week. Okay. Now, likewise, when you come into accounts, you will see that you can add in all the information regarding your, your bank checks, your position of your bank checks. You have your, terminal IDs for payment collection, etc. over here. So settings is technically something that you have to spend time at the early stages. And when you're in the permission, you are going to work on, your calendar access, syncing your Google Calendar, and other things over here. Like, your Bank Connect, who you would like to see accessing the Bank Connect statements, etc. right? So permission is something that would enable you to handle all of these in one place. So settings is definitely something I would highly recommend for all of you to start using at the early stages. If you have not started using, it's never too late to start. So please start using settings, set up your account as per your wish, and then start using things like Client Portal, Bank Connect. If not too much, let's say not everyone has Apple Watch, not everyone would use Google Chrome, but I'm sure everyone would like to do a hassle-free client intake by using a client portal, or a hassle-free accounting of transactions by using import bank transactions from Bank Connect. So why stop using them when you have them readily available? And also converting speech to text that we actually saw under the description, where you have record all your details, speak into the mic, convert it into text. It's much simpler than typing it, definitely. At least you're not going to have all those finger or nerve pain or something. You're going to at least minimize yourself typing. As it is, we're typing a lot every day on phone or iPad or laptop system that we're using. So you can at least try to reduce that by using these simple AI tools. Try and use them and give us your feedbacks. I honestly always look for these feedbacks, because these feedbacks are something that would enable us to enhance our features, to give you a better product, to give you something that you are all looking forward to. So these are some things that also, again, came up from the suggestions that somebody would have given, like you or from our development team. But yes, we are happy to consider your request. We do have our development team who really works hard to bring up new features every time. So I'd highly recommend you all to do that. And last but not the least, if you're someone who is not using uLaw in today's webinar, I request you to go onto our website, which is uLaw.io. Now it's changed, uLaw.io. It's been like this for probably 2 to 3 years. Please use the uLaw.io as the new website. Please access it. Then we do have start free trial in there. You can use that. And I highly recommend you to introduce your friends. You can use refer a friend program. We do have refer a friend program in here. So I would also request you to email us or ask your friends to enter your name in the referral column. That way it will be helpful for us. And yeah, please do let us know if you have any questions. Guys, this chat window, if you see here, the chat window will take you to the chat, live chat with uLaw support team. So this way, within 5 minutes, you'll have someone reach you directly in there. Or I would encourage you to always click on this particular tab that says ask for help, or email uLaw Client Success Team. Email us, let us know what is your reason, when do you want us to reach out by, what is the description. Again, over here, you have record your description, you can record your questions, you can record the time you want us to contact you by, and you can put it in the description under record, convert it to a text. Again, you can work your AI tools here. Of course, you have to translate it, speak clearly into the mic. I was not speaking clearly into the mic. It's a very important thing to note here. So please make sure to speak into the mic and speak with the pause. Otherwise, it would not recognize your language. That is one important thing to note. Please always refer to emailing uLaw Client Success Team or ask for help. And asking for help means it will take you to the help tutorials, searching for uLaw answers, etc. So there's a lot of these. And one last thing that I would like to recommend all of you to try is, I think the LawPay team is currently, LawPay is running currently, there's a promo that's running till 2nd of August, if I'm not wrong. There's another 1 month for you all to register, 1 month or probably close to 5.5 weeks where you can register for this promo. And LawPay is about payment collection. You could use online payment collection methods for collecting payments from your clients using credit card. And they're currently offering $150 credit if you go with them before 2nd of August, before the offer validity expires. So that is one important announcement I wanted to give all of you before I wind up for today's session. And if there are no questions, I'll take it as, end of the session for today. But if you all have any questions, I'm opening the floor to all of you to ask more questions. It's just that I'm going to probably stop recording so that the ones watching this later can benefit from most of it. And I'm thanking each one of you joining in for today's session. It was really nice to have all of you hear the new topics, the new features that's in uLaw. And I hope you all start using it. And any questions at any time, other than help, other than our YouTube tutorials, feel free to email uLaw clients at team or uLaw support, and we'd be happy to assist you over a call or a session. Thank you, everyone, and see you all, I think, on 7th of July over a CPD session. So like I said, next week there's no CPD. On 7th of July, there's no webinar next week, Friday, as it's Friday before the long weekend. We generally keep it light with our with no webinar, but we are still working. Support will be there. Client success will be there. Our regular demos will be there. Feel free to email us for any help, but the next webinar is going to be on 7th of July, and it's going to be a CPD. So I'll see you all on 7th of July. Thank you so much for joining in. Have a lovely day and have a lovely weekend.